Hi there and welcome to my review for The Mimic. The Mimic is a Korean horror thriller film. It's by a director called, I might pronounce it wrong, called Jung, who came to sort of prominence with his 2013 horror thriller as well, Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek was a decent film, I thought. The thing about Hide and Seek was it had a couple of good ideas in the first half, had a decent twist, but then it kind of just fell apart. It didn't really add up to much, but it was pretty good for what it was. It was an okay film. The Mimic is unfortunately a step down. I'm a huge fan of a lot of Korean cinema, so I went to this with a certain amount of, hey, you know, he's a relatively new talent. Let's see, you know, I like Hide and Seek was okay. Let's see if he can improve on the good stuff in that film. And unfortunately, he kind of doubled down on the weaker parts of that film. The Mimic has a lot of, I'm told, although I'm not an expert, has some basis in sort of Korean folklore, Korean myths, but it's basically about a family and they go to a remote sort of village to live. A bunch of creepy stuff happens, and they find an abandoned child who is, you know, who starts to mimic their own child. From that outset, that is a pretty formulaic horror sort of setup. You got a family, new location, but you don't really know anybody, and then there's a mysterious thing going on. They think they're looking after a child, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's an evil demon, and you know, the film is basically what you expect. It's really formulaic and really generic and really standard. Jung has kind of done the same sort of themes in both this and Hide and Seek. So he touches on ideas of what identity really is, are people who they say they are. He touches on like families breaking down, the family unit being sort of dented out of shape by like illogical goings on from malicious intent. He also touches on some other ideas that he sort of touched on in Hide and Seek as well. Noticeably, he touches also on stuff like identities being misleading and people being replaced. So he's definitely got a set of things that he likes. What makes The Mimic kind of disappointing is just how formulaic it really is. It's a very standard horror movie that doesn't really live up to anything. The only real twist, I guess, for a non-Korean audience might be some of the Korean folklore aspects, but if that's the only reason you're watching it, it ends up kind of being crass exorcism. Like, there's not really much else in it, I think. I think it's very formulaic, very standard, very predictable. You kind of know what you're going to get. There is some, towards the end, it kicks up the emotional gears and you kind of get some stuff that's genuinely kind of a little, you know, you do get a little bit heartfelt, I guess, a little moving towards the final few moments, and it certainly becomes a little bit, you know, emotional. But it's not great. It doesn't really justify the fact that you take so long to get there. It's not a garbage fire. It's not utterly terrible. It is pretty thrilling. It is pretty. You kind of like the characters. It's not unlikable. It's not bad. It's not. But it's just so average. And it's so average it becomes detrimentally average, and it becomes just really standard. And there's a whole section of the story where like key characters just sort of disappear. Like there's these policemen who are part of the plot, but there'll be like 20-minute bits where they aren't in it. And then like there'll be like there's one scene where like I think like the father character just disappears for like a day. Like not like he disappears in the universe. In like you just don't see him for a whole day's worth of you know, for on-screen time that supposedly that's a day. He isn't there. And there's no explanation for that, and there's stuff like this which is just kind of weird, and it doesn't really add up to much. It's not thematically rich. All that's pretty much in there was kind of covered in Hide and Seek better, and that movie itself didn't cover its themes very well. So it's kind of a mess. I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, it has a couple of good thrills, maybe some scares if you. I mean, I think if you're into horror movies of this type, then I guess there's a couple of nice ideas. But you know, there's many better films to watch, I think, than this. So whilst I don't think it's utterly terrible, I think there's no question at all this is a bad film. If you like this review, please give it a like, and thanks for watching. If you want to see more of my reviews, subscribe, I guess. You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd if you want to see all other stuff I'm watching. Links in the description. And The Mimic, it's kind of bad.